Good morning, everybody. Hello. Yeah, today we're going to look a little bit at neurodiversity, especially around COVID and all that's happened. Let me just screen share something here for a half a second. There we go. Hi. Yeah. Hi, everyone. So we're going to look a little bit at, we know that we deal with a lot of neurodiversity when we're dealing with complex trauma. And that it's very normal to have all these very creative brains that do many, many different things. We also know we've been through a pandemic and that there will be some neurodisruptions that have occurred over the last couple of years, especially for those who've gone through COVID. The virus itself has created a lot of changes in many people's brains. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Um, and just normalize neurodiversity because we need all our creative people out there. So even with this COVID diversity, neurodiversity that's happening out there, we have to find a way of being with it in a good way. So I guess I want to start by saying that it's pretty normal. I'm just going to turn this over to view on the view full screen if I can. Whoops, won't let me. There we go. Oh, well. All right. So, oops, here we go. It's over here. Sorry, I apologize for my, and I never do these things twice, as you know, so we'll have to cope with it as it is. Okay. So neurodiversity around COVID is interesting to me because I know a lot of people I've worked with, at least 3 or 4 have long haul COVID fallout from having had COVID, and they've found all sorts of neurological interruptions. They're foggy, the fatigue. There's anxiety. There's a whole lot of just physiology that has been kind of wreaked havoc with having had COVID. And then I also know that for us who have been sitting beside and working with and helping healthcare workers and been helping in with COVID. And even if we weren't helping, we are impacted. So there's a neurological way in which our brains have had to take in 2 years or more of really differences in ways of being, both familially and collectively. There's been isolation and there's been all sorts of interruptions in how we've lived our lives over the last couple of years. So I just want to spend a little bit of time making some space for that, making some space. And let's do that. I'm going to do that through an experiential and then I'll take you through one. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a space between me and my brain so that I can observe my brain, right? I'm going to just make a space, a great big space. I'm going to first check, can I observe my brain from a good place? Am I in the West or the North where I can observe my brain without reacting to what I find? Right? And yes, I can. I can definitely be in the West. I feel like I'm in a good grounded space where I can observe my brain. Okay, I'm just going to notice into my brain. How is my brain today? I have not had COVID. Oh, my brain is definitely hot. It seems I can feel the temperature. My brain is hot. My brain is in the east and the south. Now I'm in the west, but my brain is not. My brain is really hot. It seems it's a bright yellow and reddy thing. Its temperature is hot. Is it an angry? What's it trying to say to me? I don't, it's not, the word wouldn't be angry. If it could speak, if this brain could speak, it's alarmed. Oh, I have an alarmed brain. My brain is heavily alarmed, heavily alarmed. I'm just going to notice that alarm. Is that a familiar place, that alarm? It feels very, very old. It doesn't feel like it's a new alarm. So it feels like it's a collective alarm. it's interesting because it feels like it's been ringing out forever. An alarm that's been ringing out forever, a forever alarm when it comes to COVID. Let's see, where does that take me? Does it take me anywhere in time? Wow. It takes me way back, like many, many, many generations. I'm just going to check, is there any ancestor there from that long ago? It's like multitude of generations. And I have this one relative that is lived to 113, like about many, many, my great 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 grandmother, great 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 grandmother. I'm not even sure if it's four greats or what, but she's in the, we see her in our information as living to 100, and she's definitely in the room, and she's alarmed. Wow, my ancestors alarmed by what's happening right now. So that's really odd. So what is she wanting to do here, that she's here in the room, and it feels like she's alarmed and she's wanting to give me something, some kind of herb or medication. I don't even know what that is she's giving me. It's a bark. She's got a bark that she wants me to have. And it's some kind of tree bark. And it's probably from the Dakotas somewhere, some trees in the Dakotas, because that's where her land was. Um, Medicines. So it's really about finding what medicines, and those medicines need to be specific for you. I think for me, birch bark is what I'm after. Um, I don't know how that's going to help me, or if I'm going to burn it, or what I'm going to do, but the ceremony will come. So I don't want to spend too much time with myself, but there's a ceremony in there that's specific to my COVID fallout. So I'd like us to do that together. So if you could find a space where you could be in the west or the north, where you could observe your brain without reacting to it. Just take a moment, get nicely grounded, create the space. And you're going to bring your attention to your brain, to that master brain that kind of operates your entire system. We're going right there to the brain, that beautiful organ that's ever changing. Regardless if you had COVID or didn't have COVID, but we're sitting beside COVID. Your brain has been impacted. Please notice, if you will, please, what is the temperature of your brain there today? Does it have a color? Observe without fixing or changing, just honoring. Is there something vicarious or collective about this brain? Is it all yours, or is it familiar somehow to others around you, community, family, specific people? Are you the only one with this brain? Let's track a little bit more. Does this brain take you anywhere in time? There's lots of knowledge. Does it take you to any particular knowledge keeper or knowledge keeping place in nature or ancestor. Are there any helpful medicines there that are specific to your brain or others who have this collective brain? Just gather up anything that could be helpful. Is there anything in today's world that would help feed your brain right now? Any kind of food or medicine that would be nourishing to your current brain that you might add? And just leaning even more into all my relations. Is there anything in your environment that would be helpful? Do you need to be outside more? Do you need to be underwater? What would help these diverse changes that have come about over the last couple of years? And when you're ready, come back up into the room, bringing your medicines with you. Take as much time as you need. I just want to add that when you're working with people who've been through COVID, they might not even know that they have neurological fallout from COVID. And there's lots of articles on it. You can go and look that up on over Google to find out the different things that science has found out about COVID fallout. But I do want to say that there is a way with focusing that you can get into the body and even deeper into the brain, and you want to find the fallout, and then you want to add the medicines that come from their own bodily intergenerational territory. Those medicines, like that bark that I found there, that's very, very helpful. We need our ancestral medicines right now on the other side of COVID. So I hope this is helpful. Know that I love you all. I'm thinking of you all. And I know it's been an incredibly grueling couple of years. And so with love, take good care. We are all one family. Love you all. Bye for now.